Today's reading is Tashi and Baba Yaga. It was a sheep that went home with you on Thursday, so it should be in the plastic pocket. I'm going to give you a chance to read it to yourself and then answer some questions that are trying to see if you listened to yourself read or not. If you're having some trouble, I'm going to, in the next part, read the story and the questions. You can use that to help you with your reading and what you have to do today. When you are finished, I want you to become the illustrator and do your version of Baba Yaga's house. Okay, let's go. Now just remember what this is about. This part here gives you what we call the background. This is the beginning of a story about Baba Yaga, a bad witch. Tasha, Jack's new friend, told him this story. Now Jack is telling it to his mum and dad. You'll have to imagine Jack's dad in bed with a bad cold, a bit like myself. Mum next to him, and both waiting eagerly for Jack's story. That's the part that tells you or catches you up with the bit that's missing. Now you can read this to yourself or you can continue to listen. Well, it was like this, Jack began, and he shivered as he remembered Tasha's words last night. Baba Yaga blew into Tasha's village on the winds of a terrible storm. Baba Yaga? Who is that? Coughed Dad. Someone looking for a new house? Pay attention and you'll find out, said Jack. And don't breathe on me, said Mum. Well, one night when Tasha was quite small, stinging rains lashed the village and wild winds blew washing off the lines and chickens out of their nests. Branches were torn from the trees and whole houses were whisked miles away. The next morning, when Tasha walked along the road, he saw people scurrying about trying to find lost belongings that had been scattered far and wide. He offered to help, and going further and further from the village, he found cooking pots and slippers high up in the trees. As Tasha walked on through the forest, he came upon a house in a clearing where there had been no house before. And what an extraordinary house it was. It stood on scaly yellow chicken legs, and the claws dug deep into the earth. Above, a thread of crooked smoke rose out of a crooked chimney. And that's all we are reading today. Sometimes it helps to read it a couple of times to see if you can work out all the parts. Now that you've read the story, answer these questions. 1. Fill in the missing words. Not really a question, but it's asking you, can you put the words in that's missing? Baba Yaga is a... Tashi is someone's friend. Number 2. Who is telling the story? Who is he telling the story to? 4. Why do you think Mum told Dad not to breathe on her? You can answer these pages and write neatly on the sheet that you got last week. What sort of damage did those wild winds do? It's left space for 2 lines, so I think it needs more than 1 or 2 words. 6. Huge storms, like the one in this story, have a special name. Can you think what it is? 7. Whose house do you think Tashi found? What was the strangest thing about the house? You are the illustrator. Woohoo! Draw your version of Baba Yaga's house. Post it on Seesaw. There are some clues what it looked like. They gave you at least a couple of things that were special to this house. Good luck.